So these qualities was identified by the eunuch, and they were separated for the for preparation. So God is actually separating me and you, of course, into the industry we find ourselves, into the family we find ourselves, business and investment, so that we can become the light in that family, become the salt in that family. You need to know how to operate in this realm, because yesterday we started telling you that darkness is not a force, it's the absence of light. So anyway, you don't see light, darkness setting. When light comes, darkness run away. Darkness doesn't listen to fighting, of course, punching. If this place is dark and I'm shouting, darkness go, darkness die by fire, die by fire, it doesn't respond to those things. Just identify the switch. On the switch, darkness cannot comprehend. So find out that most of us, all the dark part in our life is because you refuse to shine the light of God, your light as an entrepreneur in those aspects of your life. So how do you acquire this light? Knowledge. How do you acquire learning, teaching? So if I yesterday started telling us about 3 things that happened, like I always say that God created 3 things in Genesis. The first thing he created, of course, was the creation. Say no, creation. He said, let there be light. Let there be light. Okay. The next thing he created was the creatures. They're not creatures. He said, let the earth bring forth its kind. Let the water bring forth its kind. The third thing he created was a creator. Say creator. He said, let us create man in our image and likeness. They're not image. They're not likeness. So you can, the image and to act like image of God is natural. To act like God, you must come through teaching, through training, to act like God. If you are not being taught to act like God, you can never act as a creator. So creators, of course, they must acquire knowledge for you to create those ideas, because the ability to convert those your thoughts into things, because thoughts are things. But that makes you powerful, that makes you entrepreneur. Everything you see was created by entrepreneur. This biomarker is created by entrepreneur. This book, entrepreneur. Phone, shoe, clothes, everything entrepreneur. Because entrepreneur was able to convert their thoughts into tangible things. That ability, that capacity helps you to live in these 2 realms. The powerful realm of imagination, of course, where you create, and the physical realm where you produce. So you create with your mind, there are things you create, and then also produce, you make. So creating is different from making. In fact, there's a scripture I always tell us that, you see, this principle, why you need to act like God, is very important. In Genesis 1, verse 27, God created man in his image. In Genesis 2, verse 7, God formed man from the dust of the earth. That means the day God created man is even from the day God formed man. 2 events happen for a man to be existing. So he created man in his thoughts, and then he said, let us create man in our image. Genesis 1:27. He came to Genesis 2, and he formed man out of the dust of the earth. That means this container we carry, this sand, this container. That means there's this man that God created that lives in this container. So the real essence of man is that one that lives. So you too, for you to create things, you must also mentally arrange the things in your mind, and also stand up to communicate, to gather a team. Of course, that's why the job of entrepreneur is not to build a business. The job of entrepreneur is to build a team, is to build people who will build a business. So God told a principle, he said, come, let us. He told the heavenlies, the host of heaven. So you too, you need to build a team, because teamwork makes the dream work. Entrepreneurs build team. Of course, the team build a business. You need to have the technical skill is not a business skill. Tell anyone, technical skill is not a business skill. Technical skills that you are very good in doing some things. Maybe you are good in sewing clothes, carpentry, whatever you can do with your hands. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be successful as a business person, because business is transaction. You can see so many broke and poor entrepreneurs. You go to that shop, you see quality shoes, you see quality clothes, you see quality things, but the guy is looking for money because he lacks business skills. Business skills is communication skills, transaction, ability to create relationships, shake hands, negotiation skills, ability to get somebody to accept your ideas, your concepts, marketing, sales, selling skills. So these are all the skills you need to learn, because all skills are learnable skills. So we discussed that you are supposed to shine. You are supposed to shine in your family, in your place of work, because you are truly the light of the world. You're supposed to shine because it's not about it's not about being a hypocrite. It's about being an amphibious animal, like those animals that lives on water and lives on the land. It's also these 3 Hebrew men, they were able to have the Hebrew culture, and we're still living, of course, in the midst of Babylon. Learn their culture, their norms, their ethics, and then imagine Daniel becoming the king of witchcraft. That Daniel, that he's an Hebrew guy, learn all their skills and culture and become the king of these witchcrafts. Imagine that. So Imam means he was teachable, he was coachable, he understood his identity, he understood his content of character, he didn't change his nature because he wanted to actually fulfill God's purpose in Babylon. So yesterday we discussed that these 3 Hebrew men were chosen, prepared for promotion, like most of us are choosing today, prepared for promotion, so that at least we can take charge. And then I'm here to let you know today that for promises of God to take place, that means promises initiate process. Let's start from there today. Write on your note. Promises initiate process. Promises initiate what? Process. So the promise of God over your life will determine the kind of process you actually going to take to actually become successful in that area. If you know you are going to become a medical doctor, the process you take is different. You write WAEC, you write JAM, you study medicine and surgery, anatomy. You're not going to be an engineer. Process will be different. Write JAM, study whether electrical, mechanical, civil, name them. So they think that your promises in life determine the kind of process you take. You want to be an entrepreneur, the kind of education you receive, because the quality of education determines the quality of your life. So they promote, of course, certain things. So they will promise, of course, to be among the king's palace, among the royal family. And this thing determines the kind of process of preparation they actually took that makes sure they have a place, of course, in the center of greatness, in the arena of greatness. So I say promise, initiate, process. If written that one down, let's still conclude our context for the concept. So today we are going to cover at least 2-3 of this outline. Write down your note, very, very important. God has planned for you. God has planned for your promotion in the palace. God has a plan for your God has planned for your position in the palace. Thank you. God has planned for your position in the palace. Definitely, God has plans for your position in the palace, which will determine the kind of process that you participate that will manifest it in your life. God has a plan. God has planned for your position in the palace, which will determine the process you will participate that will bring the result. So I'm going to give you this one with the process today, so you can live in the two realms as an entrepreneur successfully. So God has planned for your position in the palace, which will determine the process that you participate that will bring it to reality. So without the process, you can never sustain results. Without process, you can never sustain outcomes. The discipline you form the process determines give you the ability to sustain the result and outcome. Before you get to stand, of course, and represent the kingdom of God, of course, in the world, and definitely you must learn the language of your profession, the language of your industry. As these three Hebrew men participate, they live as Hebrew. They have two names, and also they are going to be in the marketplace as a mission field, and the bedroom as a battlefield. So where the real battle is the battle of the mind. If the weapon of warfare are not carnal, of course, is by pulling down stronghold in your imagination. So every day we fight battles, not physical battles, the battles of the choice of the words, the thoughts you have in your mind. Because if you can win in the mind, you can always win in the physical. I always tell you that poverty starts in the mind, settles in the pocket. The wealth starts in the mind, settles in the pocket. The only asset that changes the mind and the pocket is knowledge, light, information. So write down your note. Entrepreneurs must survive in the marketplace as their mission field, and their bedroom as their battlefield. Entrepreneurs must survive in the marketplace as their mission field, and boardroom as their battlefield. The entrepreneur must survive in the marketplace as their mission field, and boardroom as their battlefield. So definitely, for you to actually survive in the marketplace, okay, you must survive in the boardroom, in your bedroom, where you are alone, where you are talking to people, as virtue. Virtues like kindness, peace, love. So for you to sit and say, okay, I love my people, I don't like them being sick, so that let me go and study medicine and surgery, or let me go and be hospital. So that love is being expressed in the things you do. Okay, I don't like business closing down, locking down in the next 5-10 years. So let me go and study business, investment, money, leverage. So I can teach people and they do it for free. So that's because you don't want people to lose things, that led you to go and study something to help the humanity. Okay, I don't like people losing money without proper accounting. Let me go and study accounting so I can help you keep their accounting record very well. So there's something that propels you out of the love and kindness you have to go into a profession or a field of study. Okay, there's no pure water in this community. People travel far and wide to get drinking water. Let me put water factory. Let me bring water there. So there's something that you leads to contribution to the improved lives and property to humanity that led you to do certain things. So for you to have converted that virtue into value. That is called wealth creation. That means you are not moved because things you want to make money. You are actually purposefully creating value, either product or service, to solve a need. And because you love it, because money will definitely follow for sure. But the main thing that drives you was the creation of converting your love, your kind into value. So entrepreneurs, they move that value into premium branding. So you see that if your purpose of making money is not to improve lives and property, it's not to contribute, it's not to add value. But life is about contribution, life is about impact. If you just I want money, okay, that means that what is driving you is all material. That means the material success have material meaning only, no spiritual meaning, no purpose, no direction, no vision, no intention to improve people from darkness to light, no intention of educating people to understand the ultimate version of themselves, the best version of themselves. It's just for material consumption. Okay, it's still a wasted. So you see that body without spirit is dead. And number 5, spiritual, everything has spiritual and physical material. That means you must have a spiritual material and a physical material, because the thoughts you have in your mind are things already. It's a material. You can feel it. You can feel it in your mind. And the physical material expression. So you can see that everything you see has a spiritual material and a physical material. So for you to succeed as an entrepreneur is to understand how to move all those your ideas that's in your mind into the physical realm, because that's the first law of creation. It's called the law of wealth, the law of creation, and the law of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs move things from where they are to becoming better, putting in them branding, so they can become a premium, of course, a service or brand, or product. So everything spiritual you see, all the spiritual riches, all the spiritual authorities, all the spiritual success have a material expression. So if it doesn't have a material expression, no matter how much you pray and fast, if it don't manifest in the result of your life, okay, you're just wasting time. So after fasting and praying for 40 days and 40 nights, you cannot win one soul, you cannot perform one miracle, you cannot even teach somebody. So everything you fast and pray is me, myself, and I. And you sit and say, all my enemy, my family, die. If all the enemy die, which table won't prepare in the midst of your enemy? You kill all of them. No table again in the midst of your enemy. Now only you go to that table. So stop killing those people. Don't kill them again, so that God can prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemy. Now you have successfully killed all the enemy that God came to die for. God came to die for the enemy to redeem them. You kill all of them. Now you don't get anybody who won't go evangelize, give. You see your life, you don't kill them, finish. Stop killing them back. The enemy is not your problem. Your problem is that you failed already in your imagination. But start focusing on things that doesn't improve or move needle in your favor. Start focusing on things that improve you. The enemy is not even your problem. Those guys are even afraid of you. Let me tell you the truth. If I just realizing yourself is enough victory already. Ignorant is the problem. You think that you're not making progress because somebody's holding. Nobody's even talking about you. Because people have their own problem to worry about. After all, you should know this at this time in my class, that when you want to become the top, you must be the topic and the target. Yes or yes? You want to be ahead of other people, you must come the headline. Tell me headline. So notice that's it. Everything spiritual, spiritual riches, authority, success must have a material expression. Everything material expression must give meaning to the spiritual, of course, success. Because how can you be acquiring material things without meaning of that means at the end of the day, all the things you acquire on earth will finish. Your works will be burnt and nothing will survive. This thing you cannot separate two of them, because it's like two sides of the same coin. So both spiritual and material should complete each other. They should complement each other. So let's go to the second thing, because you have to understand the dual nature of the universe, that even God that created things, he created everything twice. It's called the law of duality. What else is called? The law of duality states that everything is two. 2 eyes, one side, 2 nostrils, one nose, 2 lips, one mouth, 2 legs, one movement at a time, 2 hands. So everything up and down is the law of duality. Of course, we have the law of Trinity, but today is the law of duality, because I know what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about the law of duality, that for you to actually be looking for material expression, make sure it gives it that spiritual meaning. For you to actually pursue spiritual, of course, meaning, make sure you have material expression. I cannot tell you I am mentally sound when you cannot see anything physical around me that shows that I'm mentally sound. I cannot have physical things around me that is physically expressed and wonderful abundance in wealth, but I cannot see anything in my mind that indicates that I'm mentally sound. But how you know is when somebody opens his mouth. When you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. Even a fool that keep quiet will be considered wise. Tell your neighbor, it's in the province of wisdom to keep quiet. It's a province of knowledge to speak. So you cannot open your mouth without knowledge. It's called mental mistake. What that is called? You just committed one mental mistake, because they will start seeing that they are mentally not complete, they are mentally mad. How you open your mouth, you don't get sense. Tell your neighbor, to whom brain is given, sense is expected. You person get brain, you get hardware, no software virus don't chop up, because it's not updating the software. You must update your software every day. So not every day, not anyhow, not when you feel like, not feel like. You update it. So updating your software will make your system to be active. So let's go to the second outline, third outline for today, and we'll gradually call it today. The dual nature of the entrepreneur. The dual nature of an entrepreneur. The dual nature of an entrepreneur. Very, very important. The dual nature of an entrepreneur. You are with me, shall I? Okay, write this down on your note. The objectives experience describe what happens. The objective experience describe what happened. Bracket open, external and extrinsic. I didn't want to clean anything here, but I don't have any choice. I have to clean. Okay, the objective experience. Underline the word objectives. The objective experience. The objective experience of an entrepreneur describe what happens to him. Bracket open, external and extrinsic. So the objective experience of an entrepreneur describe what happens to him. Bracket open, external or intrinsic. So the objective experience of an entrepreneur determine what happens to him. The objective experience, underline the word objective. The objective experience of an entrepreneur describe what happens to him. Bracket open, external factors or extrinsic factors. So full stop. And the subjective experience of an entrepreneur. This is objective experience. Then the subjective experience. The subjective experience of an entrepreneur describes what it means to him, for him, and about him. The subjective experience of an entrepreneur describes what the experience means to him. The objective experience of an entrepreneur describe what the experience means to him, for him, and about him. Bracket open, internal factor or intrinsic factor. So this one now is internal factor or intrinsic factor. So the objective experience of entrepreneur determines what happens to him, while the subjective experience of entrepreneur determines what it means, what the experience means to him, for him, and about him. So three things must happen there. So because if every bad thing that happens in the marketplace, it means everything bad to you as an entrepreneur. Let me tell you, I'm not predicting your future, you will quit. If every objections, every criticism, every negative thought, every negative opinions means bad thing to you, you will quit. See, the objective experience of entrepreneur describe what happens to the entrepreneur, but the subjective experience of entrepreneur determines what that experience means to him, for him, and about him. Three things. So if you define every situation as a stepping stone as an entrepreneur, wow, congratulations. Then you have finally conquered the number one prison of life, the prison of locking yourself about what people think about you, the fear of judgment, fear of this, fear of lack, fear if I don't succeed. You already conquered that you get yourself out of that prison. That's the only prison you put on yourself. You are so have this how do I put on my note? Insecurity. There are three major fears that keep so many, three major things that keep so many entrepreneurs down. Okay, number one is called the insecurity kills focus, busyness kills focus, and fear kills focus. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of what people will say. These are the major reasons people don't step out. Is I don't know what they will say. I don't know why my product is good. All those fears. Number one is insecurity, busyness, and fear. These three things, the objective experience is what happened to you. Life happens to everybody. There's no big deal about it. But the subjective experience is what that experience means to you, means for you, and means about you. So if you keep defining every experience as a stepping stone, that means you succeeded both in the subjectives and objectives. The two war you win your war is you must win in the mind subjective, you must win on the outside objective. So if you don't win on the subjective, my brother, my sister, you also fail on the subjectives. If you win here, subjective, you win on the objectives. If you win the battles, the internal battles, you win the external battles. If you fail in the internal battles, you fail in the external battles. If you fail here, you fail here. You win here, you win here. Write down your note, very, very important. I would like to write this because as every experience in life, either good or bad, has a dual nature. Every experience in life, either good or bad, has a dual nature. Every experience in life, whether either good or bad, has a dual nature. Every experience in life, every experience in life, either good or bad, has a dual nature. So that nature, of course, will depend on what you call it. For Joseph, the brother sold him, put him in the pit. He went to Potiphar's house, went to prison, and for him, it was a good thing for him. For David, the same thing. Everybody ever see that succeeded. For Dangote, Elon Musk, even Thomas Edison, that he tried to invent a electric bulb, he did not get it. It's a good experience. In fact, I told you the story when the journalist finally, when he got the practical experiment correct, and the journalist asked him, Oga, you failed 1,000 times. He said, no, I did not fail 1,000 times. I only discovered 1,000 ways it cannot work. Imagine that. So he's different of experience. What experience means to him is that thing cannot work that way. That means there's another way it can work. He keeps trying and trying. Even the white brothers that told the world that iron can fly on the sky. People laugh at him. The experience was not good, but the guy these were bicycle repairers. They launched the first aircraft. Today, we have aircraft, aeroplane fly on the sky. Because some people did not allow the experience to define them. Don't allow your experience to define you. Don't allow your address to define you. Where you live is called address. Who you are is called identity. Don't allow your address to define your identity. Touch yourself, say, I'm more than enough. I'm more than enough. You have a wonderful experience. Your father, your mother was poor and broke. Life is unbearable. It's a wonderful experience. Define it that because I was born into this property, I will become rich and wealthy in life. I will never hand over collateral property to my children. I don't have a legacy, abundance to them. I will not come to this life and live life and pass as if nobody has passed. I must create impact. Then not impact. I must make a difference. Then not difference. Then not positive difference. In life of people, in your community, in your church. So every experience that happens to you have a dual nature. It's what you define it that will make it so, because you are the author and the sole architect of your subjective experience. Write it on your notes. I am the author. Put it personality. I am the author and the sole architect. I am the author and the sole architect of my own subjective experience. I am the author. Okay, 4 minutes more. Let's see what we can do with this 4 minutes. I am the author and the sole architect of my subjective experience. Doesn't matter what happens. I understand now. It's not a factor that can make you succeed or fail. What happens here is a factor, subjective. What happened in your mind is a subjective, not external. Just like offense. Offense is external, but bitterness is internal. Offense is that you pick what someone did to you, and now start nursing it, grow it, and the thing expands. It gives birth to bitterness. So not bitterness. I define bitterness as punishing yourself for someone else's stupidity. Tell your neighbor, bitterness is punishing yourself for someone else's stupidity. Then you stop punishing yourself. And the person will move around. You don't even know you're punishing yourself. So you keep using your mind to think bad and evil about somebody. Let me tell you what happened. What you don't even understand is this. The way the subconscious mind works. It doesn't know why you're thinking bad about somebody. It will bring the result to you. No, the Bible says that what you want others to do to you, first do it. I mean, what you do to you, do to other people. Because see, the way your mind works is that the mind doesn't understand whether you're thinking bad or good to somebody or to yourself. Whatever dominates your thought is what manifests in your experience like. So don't think, if you think bad thing about somebody, before it is happening to you, because you attract what occupy your mind, what actually dominates your mind. So if you want to live a very successful entrepreneurship life as an investor, as a business person, start thinking quality thoughts, because the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. Bad communication corrupt good manners. What did I say? So you understand that all the emotions, all the spiritual intelligence is rooted in the mastery of your subjective world. So everything you're happening in your subjective world will surely and definitely manifest in your objective world, your external. So it's not like this around me, I'm not working. Leave the external factors alone. External factor is not the real factor. It's not a determining factor. The determining factor is called the subjective. Then your subjectives are all determining factors. Write on your note. Subjectives are all determining factors. Subjectives are the determining factors. Put it like that. Subjectives are the determining factors. These are the determining factors. So they are not. These guys are not determining factors. So what determines the success of an entrepreneur is a subjective experience. What happened on the internal? What happened on the inside? How you define every experience? What that experience means to him, for him, and about him. If you keep defining every experience as a stepping stone, the sky is your starting point. Because if somebody do bad to you, you carry the bad thing and make it as a stone to climb on the stone. They say you're not doing well. That's the most time you have to stand up and say, I'm doing well, oh, I'm doing well, I'm doing well. Oh. They say you're not making money. Say I'm making money. Sometimes it's not you don't define yourself based on the physical experience, because I told you that brokenness is not poverty. Brokenness is that you don't have cash. But poverty is mindset. Mindset. The manifest of poverty, it must surely happen in lack of cash. But wealth, abundance, sometimes there is no cash, but your abundance here. It's just a matter of taking from few steps of actions, persistent text, and it will manifest in the physical. So you can see that what determines the success of every entrepreneur is his own subjective experience, his own internal experience. So what is very important, if you define every circumstances as a means to inspire you, encourage you, and empower you, the sky will be your starting point. Write it down. I will define every circumstances. I will define every objective experience, circumstances. I will define every objective experience, circumstances in a way that will empower me, inspire me, and encourage me to succeed as an entrepreneur. I will define every objective experience, external experiences. I will define every external experiences as an entrepreneur in a way that will inspire me, encourage me, and empower me to succeed and excel. No matter what somebody meant to you, carry on. Say, because somebody said I will not succeed. Me, I made up my mind that I will succeed. Because Christ, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Someone say you will not buy a car. No argue with them. Go back to your state. Create the car you want to buy. Take action, sell product or services, market it. You're going to manifest in your life. See, I said that you should define every experience that in a way that will inspire you, encourage you, and does what? Empower you. So it is very easy to attach meaning to your subjective experience, because if you do that, it will discourage you, God disempower you, and make you start feeling frustrated. So if you want to strive and succeed as an entrepreneur, then you must become the architect of your own subjective experience. Rise and as round up today's class. If you want to strive, or for you to strive and succeed as an entrepreneur, for you to strive and succeed as an entrepreneur at any level, for you to strive and succeed as an entrepreneur at any level, you must become the architect of your subjective experience. You must become the architect of your subjective. That is the two realms. The real internal realm, subjective realm, is the way you need to be in charge. For you to strive and succeed in life as an entrepreneur at any level, you must become the sole architect of your subjective experience. You must become the sole architect of your subjective experience. My time is fast spent, 8 minutes past 9. So the next outline is called the role model. We're going to look at our role model in 4 aspects by tomorrow. Let me give you a clue of our role model so that you cannot miss tomorrow's class. Okay, Monday. So the 4 outlines called our role model. So we have to show you all the role models in this life as an entrepreneur. Number 1, these role models, they have 2 names. They have 2 names. I'm going to give it to you by next week. Number 2, they have two culture. They have 2 culture. I'm going to give it to you by next week. Number 3, they have 2 languages. So I'm going to show you the language by next week as an entrepreneur, how you need to speak. Number 4, they also have 2 roles. So I'm going to give you the 2 roles by next week. So we have to see that entrepreneurs must definitely succeed at the subjective experience, subjective realm, the internal realms, and also succeed at the physical realm. So the ability to transfer informations, because we are like a transporter. We move things from the invisible to the visible. That capacity is endowed in you as an entrepreneur. You have not cultivated